Again, thank you very much for allowing me to interview. The first part of this is about EMS leadership, and what qualities do you find are most important in EMS to be a leader, either in your agency specifically or just in general?
Okay, I would say probably the two biggest things as far as quality is the first is just honesty with the people, and then the second would be servant leadership, where you realize you're not there for them to serve you, you're there to make their job easier for them to do and facilitate the operation so that they're able to do their job more effectively with less stress and in a better fashion. Honesty, I've worked third service EMS, I've been in fire service EMS and just fire service, and then with this service. When you're an employee, the worst thing you can do is just not know what management's thinking, being misled. Those things have happened to me in the past, and nothing will destroy morale faster, in my opinion. This service, before I got here, went through a change from being a separate county, well, it's still a separate county taxing agency, but the employees were part of that, and there was a big change, and they knew a change was coming, but nobody, from what I gathered, was being real forthcoming with what changes might happen, how the employees would be affected. Right. And with the last two leaders we've had, they've been, as far as directors, they've both been very big on, this is what I'm thinking, this is where we're going, this is what I want to do. And also just a willingness to listen to the people. We have several new people that came from some other services, and they have just been blown away that our director will come in the morning and say, hey guys, how's it going? Just little things like that to let the people know. Just joining in and helping with the menial task. When we come in the winter and it's snowing, our director and other leaders have been out there. They could hide behind a desk, and instead they're out helping the crew shovel the snow. Little things like that, just being there, and then backing the people up when they're right, and sitting down, talking to them, and setting them straight when they're wrong. Okay. I think is important.
So it sounds like, in general, you really value being with the people that you work for, both on a day-to-day basis and being very forthcoming with them.
Yes.
Could you elaborate on any strategies somebody coming into a position like yours might have in a company where that has not been the case previously? How they could start doing that?
How they could start that? Honestly, I think the best way is just leading by example. If it's something that you value, then, for instance, I'm in education is my primary role. So obviously I can't necessarily make the operations guy or the supply or QA or anybody else do it my way, but I can do it my way, and then hopefully they'll kind of say like, that's kind of working pretty good. And one of the things I think that it sometimes slows down my productivity here, but I think is a very important thing. Also, all of our people here have always had an open door policy that literally anytime somebody can walk in with an issue and talk to any supervisor about it. Okay. So that's something that I think you could do if you went into a new company. And I'm just going to use the example of the employees I talked about earlier that weren't used to the director asking how they were doing or caring how they were doing. Right. Is even if not that I would go to that company, but if I went to that company, I could do that. Nothing would stop me from just, hey guys, what's up? And talking with them, seeing what's on their minds, and then hopefully other supervisors would see that, and hopefully you get that seed planted.
Right. So lastly on this topic, in a company that's, I'm not exactly sure how many employees you have here, but it's a relatively small company compared to a major private corporation, yes, for instance. Do you think that makes it a little bit more difficult to have a revolving open door, considering just generally in a small community, if somebody says something, everybody hears?
I think in our situation, it's very family oriented, so it's more like a family. And usually if you hear it from one person, somebody else is thinking it anyway. And just to get people talking about it, because if you come in and say something to me, and I'm like, I wasn't really thought of it that way, and I don't necessarily have to say, well, James came and brought this to my attention. I can go to other careers, like, hey, some people kind of mention this. What are your thoughts on it? I think it kind of opens the dialogue a lot. Again, the challenge is, if I'm in the middle of a project, and we've had a couple of things I've been working on that have been kind of detail, and I'm not good at detail-oriented things, or attention, yeah, anyway, but I've been trying to focus on those things, and then you got people coming in and say, hey, what about this, what about that? That's really, for me, my biggest issue with that is just interrupting those other things, but those other things, they're important, but the people are most important, if that makes sense.
That does.